Tuesday 17th of December, it's half noon, and that's shit, shit geoterrored skies, near enough a solid white. That's a crime. I do not consent to this shit, and this is only going to get worse because people still don't realise how serious these attacks. It's literally the elite, our rulers, rebelling against everyone else. That's what this is, and it's working because the masses aren't fucking doing anything. Instead, you have the stupid Extinction Rebellion, stupid child narrative instead, and because that's the only. Well, it's been handed on a silver platter. That's what people have joined that for, not realising that's basically the government that's controlled opposition, and the leaders of that are fucking scum, and millionaires as well. Okay, so that's it. So you got shitty white skies. When the sun was out, it was like the sun was out for a few days. It was just being heavily. You could see how heavily it was being sprayed. It was nuts. Fucking insane, and disgusting EMF particulate haze in every region, in directly in front of the sun. Like, say the sun was up there, in each region, I don't know, every few 5 miles, 5-10 miles, a disgusting haze held of EMFs following the sun, and the rest of the sky clearer compared to that. Disgusting fucking crime. These geoengineers are criminals. Okay, the Nazis won. They run all the corporations, all these technocrats. That's what it is. That's their golden age. That's what they said. We want to get back to our golden age, which is them, these evil high priests of Satan, using the climate and technology, EMFs, to cause fires, or just kill you, burn you directly, or even destroy buildings. That's what 9/11 was. That was a frequency weapon, brought that down, along with demolition as well. And that's what the New World Order. That's their golden age, not ours. It's where they can kill plebs at the snap of the fingers, basically. What do you think? What was that saying? When Nero fiddled while Rome burned, probably had the same kind of shit technology then. You've heard about the fascia weapons, frequency weapons. It's the same shit then, where they were just attacking and killing plebs and saying, no, it's fires, it's just the weather. Couldn't be us. Oh, it's just a volcano. That's what we're seeing. That's the kind of scum they are. Absolutely fucking evil. Evil fucking scum. And now they've turned literally the climate and their engineered weather into it's a political weapon now. All the politicians, all sellouts, they somehow think they'll be okay. They're just cashing in, and they plan to cash out at some point. I don't know where they think they're going to be safe. Probably be killed at the end of their career, more likely. That's why a lot of these frigging arseholes, they never stop working, because they realise they're in too deep and they can't stop working in whatever position they're in, a politician or a scientist, because if they come out, then they're not at work every day, and you don't know what they're getting up to, and they might, and then their power structure will just bump them off to feel safe, to keep their secrets. All right, that's it. We're done. This is absolutely fucking disgusting. Absolutely fucking disgusting. And that's what our summer looked like as well. The majority of summer looked like this, a shitty white sky. Just what apparently that's what Australia's getting on their coasts. Along their coast there, coastal areas are targeted the most. They've got a shitty white sky at the start of their summer. And if it's not a shitty white sky, it's basically being sprayed, and it's just funny orange colours. And that's it. The sheep will still sleep. This is deadly serious now. So, a reason why I think there's a reason why civilizations have suddenly collapsed and being destroyed. It's when the people work out when it gets too far and all the evil scumbags are using high-tech weapons to attack people, using the weather, earthquakes, volcanoes, whatnot, flooding, and they realise it's their rulers who are absolutely evil scum, and then they have to destroy everything and kill them, and then they'll probably go into meltdown mode. They probably go all out. They probably go all out with their geo weapons when the plebs start coming for them. Every single pleb realises what's happening, and they come to kill their rulers. Yeah, and then they just turn it all on, and there we go. They got a mud flood, and the ground turns to jelly, and that's how it's ended before. It's going to happen again, and it's going to happen again because plebs have allowed it to go too far again, and they've got the weapons. And by the time it's stopped, they're going to have the weapons on all again. It's going to be a mud flood, and that's it. Everyone's dead. That's what's going to happen. If they even fucking wake up at all this time. Dumb as fuck. Absolutely dumb as fuck. I'm going to redo this. I did this video afterwards and ended up taking 30 minutes. So I'm just going to do it again and keep it short because nobody has time. Alright, I've mentioned windows on the world before and how they mentioned how this climate change thing is political, and they have is it Jeremy Corbyn's brother, Piers Corbyn, come on their programme, so that's dodgy. And they did reply to me once when I said it's climate control. They're using EMF technology, super weapons, and the reply was, in your opinion. So obviously they're not a reliable source. They seem to be a channel, basically, to channel people in that direction. They can see who's who and who knows what, perhaps. Obviously, it's a very strange relation. People aren't what they seem, and things not what they seem. But that's what I'm getting at. Anyway, you can read Eddie's blog. I think when I read it last time, it said it started out as like a Marxist, a misguided Marxist, and since then he's developed more and realised it's all bollocks. Basically, all these people who would be our rulers, okay, whatever controls them, is the powers and the principalities. They're the real powers behind all these scum. They don't believe in their own ideologies, which they espouse. They are just utilitarians. So utilitarians or utilitarian? I don't know. I think that's the word. It's just a means to an end, basically, and they're a bunch of lies. Okay, so I'll link these articles. I'm not going to read them. You can if you want. And then, okay, these articles, absolute shit articles. The Smithsonian and National Geographic. Both of these articles are absolute shit. In short, this article says we don't want trees to stop, to soak up carbon dioxide. We don't want that. We would rather have it be a frozen wasteland with no plants or trees. And in fact, we want to revive, even though it's complete fantasy nonsense, we want to revive woolly mammoths. So, just in case there are any plants around, or trees, so the woolly mammoths uproot them because they don't want trees at all. And there you go. Badmouth CO2 in there somewhere. The same as this. This is badmouth CO2. Okay. Again, this article says, yep, CO2 bad, plants bad. They will suck up all the water. The trees will make us thirsty. The CO2 bad. There'll be too many plants and trees, and there'll be no water for us. It's absolute shit. Okay, they don't. It's just they don't like the groundwater being cycled through plants because it's out of their control. It's like a natural ecosystem where people could live, yeah, potentially outside of their control, which is what it comes down to in the end. It's all about control. Environmentalism has taken off again because people have been I don't know, was it disaffected with politics? But apparently environmentalism interests people still, and people get emotional and join these obviously controlled opposition groups like Extinction Rebellion and that the saint little brat of climate change as well. They actually apparently giving credence to that nonsense. So that's what's pushed it through the scumbags media, absolute scum, just like this. I guess this is their authoritative content. I think it says things like, trees bad, increasing the albedo of Earth with snow and ice better. Yeah, that's right, a wasteland where absolutely nothing can live, probably not even mammoths. Okay, it's probably why they fucking all died, isn't it? Because there's just fucking ice and snow everywhere. That's why they died. However, they'll tell you, my polar bears and the penguins, they need ice. Otherwise, they'll be, they couldn't survive. It's probably all wrong. I bet they wouldn't even mind it a bit warmer. I mean, the reason why penguins, for example, would die if it was warmer is because probably competitors would move in because it would be a favourable climate, and penguins are too retarded. They'll get out-competed, basically. Not because they wouldn't want it warmer. The penguins would thrive if it were warmer, if there were no competitors, if you get what I mean. So it's all spun wrong. It's probably the same thing for polar bears. Maybe the regular bears would outcompete them, like brown bears, grizzly bears, if they could move into those frozen shitholes, which these freaking scumbags, the mouthpieces of Satan, basically, or these people that write these articles and hide the truth and distort it. Yeah, enough about that. And I wanted to keep the video short. This channel here, let's see, PK Sensor, that's a good channel. It's just straight to the point, no bollocks really. He makes, basically, just watch, go to his channel basically. It's a good channel to think. It's just I mean, it's no complicated lies basically. He's making fun out of whole climate bollocks, which is it's legit, to be honest. It's absolute nonsense. And I'm going to leave it there. It's all about control, basically, and also, I think they are willing to kill us using, degrading the climate and biosphere. Okay, to the point causing billions to die, so they could easily manage the plebs to remain within Egypt and all their lies. Basically, they don't want you leaving the plantation, their plantation, basically. So that's it. And also with maybe population boom in other parts of the world, they're worried there might be competitors to the rulers, or rulers in, say, the Western world. Yeah, that's what it is, and that's it. They're willing to even destroy the Earth to maintain control. That's what we're dealing with. Psychopaths using super weapons. Okay, I mean, we're poisoned every which way already, but now they're gonna destroy everything. Okay, they really don't like it when people question them, or when people don't listen to their narratives and determine the world on their terms. And that's have you ever? I'd like to end on also. Have you ever heard of it's like a tactic where I guess political leaders or rulers, they obviously they keep their friends close, but they keep their enemies closer, to the point where they bully their friends. It must be like an in-joke thing where they badmouth each other, but they know it's not serious. Okay, they're really allies. But with their enemies, the tactic is to promote their enemies and be buddy with them as an ally in public, when really they're just looking for an angle to destroy them. And I think, okay, so whoever the rulers are of the world, okay, it's not nationalities, it's not the arbitrary boundaries, it's not even the politicians. All right, so you literally have the hierarchy of hell on Earth, who are the real rulers. The fallen angels and their children, the Nephilim, who take host bodies. They're the real rulers. Okay, and it's all about control of information, control of what people think, and control of resources. Because control of resources, food, you control the people. Right? They're beholden to the rulers who want I mean, the only reason they have us around is because we're amusing slaves at this point. Okay, just for their amusement. That's the only reason why we're around at this point, honestly. but they want to control their slaves. I mean, have you ever read or watched Educating Rita? Yeah, when Rita wasn't educated, was it the professor found her endearing because she was foolish, but as soon as Rita got educated, I think she couldn't read or something. It's been a while since I've read it. She then had bigger ideas, and and basically the whole story is they preferred Rita as a dummy rather than a thinking individual. Although when at the starting point, obviously going to go wrong. It takes a long time to realise, even a little bit, to realise how it's all a control system, and you're educating yourself on their rubbish still. It's a control system. Sorry, what was I going on about? Sorry, I've gone off track, but it doesn't matter. Those are the real rules. Sorry, that was going on about. When you have, they talk about as Israel as their ally, right? Okay, really, that could be an angle. Trying to get if they could eventually, I think they would destroy them. Okay. It's like with Gaddafi was their ally, wasn't it? Even Saddam was their ally. You remember? Until they maneuvered them into making a false step, and then immediately overnight from ally to hated enemy, and destroyed them. Right? So I'm thinking, those who they call their outright enemies, like North Korea and Iran, okay, they're probably safe. They're probably safe from. It's when they're blatantly calling someone an enemy and have been for decades. Okay, and they haven't invaded. Okay, they're safe. It's just somewhere where they don't want Western plebs to go and visit Iran or North Korea because they don't want you to see how that country is run, and that really who they call the terrorists and enemies are the rulers' enemies. That's a place under their control. Okay? And obviously Iran supplies oil to the West, probably through an intermediary, a middleman or intermediary. And I think it comes into all these places with their mines and sensitive locations, and oil as well. They don't want you to see where oil comes from. They tell you, what do they tell the plebs? What do they tell us? Fossil fuel, like we are retarded. Like we're retarded basically. Yeah? Instead, what they're doing is with probably outside. Most of the Iranian people wouldn't know either. It's going to be a sensitive area, isn't it? Militarized. They are pumping solvents into the ground like fracking. Yeah? And then they're obviously cooking it up with EMFs, producing products out the earth, and that's how you get your oil. Not the fossil fuel. It's cooked up. It's a process. It's a production. It's man-made products. And that's why they don't want you to know. And it's illegal for you to go there. However, world leaders and top military brass, they can visit those countries. No problem. You visit there, you're in big trouble. They could even revoke your citizenship or just outright kill you. That's what it is. All control. Okay, and the big point is, they don't like it when they're entertainment slaves for their amusements, basically, get wising up and realizing the narratives they push on us are absolute shit. And when it gets to that point, they're willing to kill us. They're willing to bump us off and say it's the climate change, even though they're in control of everything. Okay, with high technology. Okay, to maintain control, and then whoever's left alive, we know they've got us all under surveillance, cameras everywhere. You know what you're doing. They will keep only the good guys, the thick as fuck, dumbest sheeple ever, because they've got them on the plantation. Got them in Egypt. I mean, we've never left Egypt. Is it Egypt? Well, I was just talking to someone in the comment section. Is it Egypt or the land of Nod? Because it seems like the land of Nod to me, which might be Egypt, because it seems everyone is a fucking sleep. Okay, so, and anyway, whatever. They can kill us. It's shit anyway. I never consented to being here, and I don't consent to anything they promote, or I don't agree to any of their terms. You know, but that's it. We're stuck here until our time is up. And yeah, they postponed it. It's to 2030, so maybe the big kill won't come until then. Maybe they want to get more information on everyone, to know who the good guys are, the good slaves, and then they'll kill all us bad guys. Yeah, they'll kill us. And that's it. Okay, alright. I was getting too long again, sorry. I'll give these links. Yeah, you can read it if you want. If you want to read these two articles here, absolute shit. The National Geographic and Smithsonian one, absolute garbage. Eddie's blog, that's a good blog. And as I said, the PK Censored channel, I'll link that as well. Right, so it's up to you. But as you know, knowing is only half the battle, and the other half the battle is violence, which it's never going to come to, because the sheeple don't want to they don't want to do anything. They think their creature comforts are just going to continue when they are slated to be taken away by 2030. That's it.